Hey everybody, Theme Park Rob here. Today I would like for everybody to take a little walk with me down memory lane back to the early 70s, the late 60s, specifically the beginning of 1966, the year I was born. Yes, I'm chronologically gifted, but I still feel young, especially when I get gifts like this. So my wife, Tracy, she bought a fantastic birthday present for me this year. So she bought it on Amazon. It's from the Woodstock Candy Company. 1966 was a great year. Happy birthday to me. If you haven't heard of this company, what they do, they put together and they go through the years. You can go back into the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Specifically, I wanted to go back to my era. So we had a grocery store, small corner grocery store and deli in the town where I grew up in Harrison, Ohio, and it was called Back's Deli. And you could go into this store. I remember going in there when I can remember going as far back as I can remember, going into the store, and they had this wall full of candy behind the counter. And you could go in, and they called it penny candy. And they had little brown bags that you could go in there and for a dime, a little kid could hand them a dime and they would just, put 10, 15 pieces of candy in a bag. Well, it just so happened that my grandfather was really good friends with the husband and wife that owned the store. So when I went in, I could hand them a dime and they would hand me a bag full that couldn't even be rolled down because it was just packed full of candy. And it's such a great memory. Some of my favorite candies that I had in there was the dots that would be on the little drops of sugar, basically, liquid sugar, that they would put on the paper and it'd be in a strip. And you had to bite the candy off and hope that you didn't get too much paper, and if you did get a little bit of paper, you didn't care because it was so good. You had the candy necklaces. Those were really good. They had the little elastic band on them, and it was a ring full, and you could crunch right into it, right off your neck. Have the candy right there with you all day long. Tootsie Rolls, Tootsie Roll Pops, those things were really good to have. The Smarties, I loved Smarties. Smarties would be when I was younger, and we would play out in the yard with, I'd play with my friends or the neighborhood kids. They were my superpower candy. If I had those in my pocket, there wasn't anything that I couldn't do. So I would pop in a couple Smarties and I was like a superhero. I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 or 15, 25. Don't judge. The favorite thing in there, and I know it's in the box, I've already looked. Spoiler alert. But the sixlets, just those little bags of candy coated chocolate balls, basically. But those were always really good too. So let's dive into the box and see if some of you remember them. I know there are a few things in here that in the box that they put in because they either were out of stock or they just couldn't get the item anymore. So they put items that were, for when I was younger, they put items in here. So there are some things in here from like the early to mid 70s, but that's fine because it's still a great memory. Hashtag nostalgia. Okay, here we go. 1966 was a great year. Vintage candy, Let's pop this sucker open. There we go. Oh, there's the candy buttons, or the dots, whatever you want to call them. Candy buttons. Yep. You would take these, each one, and this could last you a good 20 minutes. Oh, it's on both sides. I didn't even know that. I've already looked in this a couple times. So yeah, you would just bite off a piece, not pick off. You had to bite it off. That was part of the fun. Yeah, candy buttons. Here they are. Target candy. I think these are probably more of the, yeah, they are. These are like the chalky kind. For the life of me, I can't remember. Let's see. Oh, nope, they don't even put the red tip on it anymore, so you can't act like you're smoking. They don't have a whole lot of flavor. Oh, here's the bubble gum. Lucky Lights bubble gum. Yeah. These look like old cigarettes. These look like cigarettes, right? It's just bubble gum, hard ass bubble gum, and it only lasted 5 or 10 minutes when you started chewing on it anyway. Wax lips. I don't know who came up with this idea and why it would be fun. I mean, I realized that it was fun just to have them, to put these in your mouth and act like you had these big red lips, But all it was wax. It didn't even have any flavoring. It tasted like wax, like if you would eat a candle. You're not supposed to eat it. But you could put these in your mouth and run around, play with them for a little bit, and then you could just chew it up and just, it had a consistency of wax. I don't know. No better way to describe it. But I do remember these from my childhood. The candy necklace. I'm sure some of you remember these. I think they probably still have them. Again, I haven't bought candy in so long. But, yeah. You just chew a couple of these and... yeah, it was always fun. Boston baked beans. Seems like these used to be in a little plastic baggie, similar to like the plastic that these are in. All Boston baked beans are is just a candy coated peanut, as it says on the box. So these were always really good. Boston baked beans, candy coated peanuts. I enjoyed those. One of the things I never cared for was taffy. I just never did like the taffy candies. When you're trying to pull taffy with your teeth, all you're doing is asking for trouble by pulling off your old fillings. Razzles. This is just a hard candy. It's it's flavored. It's just a hard flavored candy. Lemon, raspberry, grape, orange, and blueberry. But you chew on it for a little bit and it becomes gum, and it becomes a piece of gum probably about that big. But still. Here's more taffy. This is more of like the caramel type. It's even if it says. And this is a little flexible, but I'm not a caramel fan. I'm not big into the hard, chewy caramel. I don't know. Just something about it. Dots. This is what I was referring to as dots. I didn't mind these when I was a kid, but now, like when Tracy picks them up, and if we have them at the movies or something, gummy bears too. These are very similar to gummy bears if you haven't had these. And gummy bears and dots are very similar to pulling the pink eraser out of a number 2 pencil and chewing on that. That's what I equate these to. I never enjoyed them. I still don't enjoy them. And when this is over, I'll probably give them to the girls and let them enjoy them. The Sixlets. Here they are. Just candy-coated chocolate. But this is how I remember them. Actually, when you used to get them at Halloween, the pack was a lot smaller, and it probably did just have 6 in them. That does seem about right. Yeah. So, but those are good. Now and Later, this is like a chewy taffy type candy. I never did like these. Never have. We would get these at Halloween, and they usually ended up getting thrown out. Nobody else liked them either. Hot tamales. I do enjoy these. These are still around. I don't remember them so much as when I was a kid, but they were really good. And they still are. I enjoy these. These are nice. These are just a candy coated, like a fireball. Candy coated fireball. Yeah. Some of you can relate to that. Pop Rocks. This came out probably like in the mid-70s, I would say. Early 70s. I don't know how many things of Pop Rocks I had. And spoiler alert, Mikey is not dead. Life cereal kid. He did not eat a bag of Pop Rocks and then drink a soda, and his stomach did not explode. So, Fun Dip. I remember this one from the 70s. It has a hard piece of candy in it and the powdered sugar. The whole concept is kind of odd, but I mean, we did get these. I think these are still around too, in some form or fashion. Zero candy bars. These were really good. Caramel, peanut, almond nougat covered with white fudge. Yeah, these were really good. I enjoyed these, and it's probably been 40 years since I had one, but I'll have one here pretty soon. Chuckles. These are just jelly candies, and they're coated with a light layer of sugar. They got 5 flavors: cherry, lemon, lime, orange, and it looks like there is a licorice one in there. Ugh. I don't like black licorice. Here we are with the sugar babies. They are just chocolate coated caramel drops. Again, the caramel, I'm afraid of damaging my teeth, pulling my fillings out, because it happened twice, and that's all it takes for me to be like, okay, I'm done. It's like being married. I've been married twice. There ain't gonna be a third time. Good and Plenty, hard-coated black licorice. Ugh. Don't enjoy that. Don't like it. Never did. Never will. Tootsie Roll Pops. I like these. Again, it's got that hard, chewy candy in the middle, but the Tootsie, like similar to the Tootsie Roll, which is in the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know.
So I do enjoy both of these. I've stayed away from the Tootsie Rolls. I can do these though, the Tootsie Roll Pops. Yeah. I know. Root beer barrels. Ugh. I don't like root beer. Oh, here we go. The Long Boys. Long Boys coconut. This is like a old-fashioned, kind of like a, this is definitely old, like an old Southern treat. Chewy caramel, and it has real flakes of coconut rolled up into it. I remember these. I don't think they were called Long Boys though, but I do remember that kind of candy. That's one of them that I'm not really that sure about. Here is the Charleston Chew candy bars. This is the vanilla flavored. I know they have them where they were full. They had a marshmallow in them. This just has like a vanilla nougat in it. It's a chocolate covered nougat. It's very soft. These were tasty. It's candy. What can go wrong, right? Then we have Atkinson's peanut butter bar. This is just like a crispy peanut butter that's pressed into this form, into the square form. These are pretty tasty too. I like these. They melt in your mouth. There's another bubble gum in cigar fashion. Again, it's not, I guess there was some kind of influence, and at some point somebody decided that we were influencing children. Again, I never had an issue with it. So, Bit of Honeys. This is just a hard taffy type candy. I imagine if this got really warmed up, you know, if you could warm it up really good, it would be okay. But I'm just not a fan. Here we go. Double Bubble chewing gum. Now this I can get into. It don't stick to my teeth. And you take 2 of these, and that's a nice piece of bubble gum you got in your mouth. All right? This was always my favorite to get. I would have a pile of this after Halloween. People really seem to like to give those out. Oh, here's another a jellied type candy, orange flavor. Pixie Sticks. Oh, gosh. You can still buy Pixie Sticks. Yeah, nothing but straight sugar, but gosh, they're so good. Here it is. Here is my superpower candy, Smarties. I would carry these around. We would be outside playing in the yard, and I'd keep these in my pocket, and I could always run faster, and I could hide better and find people better for playing out in the yard. Nostalgia. Peanut butter. The peanut butter chews. This is just another soft candy. Chewy, chocolatey bites loaded with crunchy peanuts. Okay. I vaguely remember these, but they're pretty good. Sugar Daddy, milk caramel pop bars. They're in the same category as the Sugar Babies. I wish I felt comfortable enough to eat these, but I don't. Sweet tarts, similar to the Smarties, same thing but different. These are just like sweet tarts. I mean, obviously they are similar to Smarties, but they're sweet tarts and they're harder. Those are pretty good. This just a standard lemon sucker like you could get at the doctor's office or in a bag of candy. Zots. Anybody remember these? I do. This is hard candy. Sometimes, I mean, they're flavored. This is obviously cherry flavored. And inside of it, it has sodium bicarbonate, which when you get to the center of it, it kind of fizzes in your mouth. Yeah, these are really good. Lemon heads. These have been around a long time. And if you get a really tart lemon head, whew, makes your jaw hurt. And then on the opposite from that, the atomic fireballs. These are just like the super hot candy. They're like a jawbreaker. Again, similar to the lemon head. But they're pretty good. There's another damn bad root beer barrel. These, just a butterscotch disc. These make me think of my grandfather. When we would be at church, my grandfather always had a pocket full of these for the kids, or a pocket of peppermint discs. He always had them, and he'd be like, get it opened up and unwrapped before the preacher starts his sermon. Yeah, I love butterscotch. I love the butterscotch candy. Here's the Tootsie Roll, and just a couple jawbreakers, just some hard candy. Yeah, and these are jaw busters. So that was my review of the 1966 Woodstock candy box that I got for my birthday. I want to thank my wife, Tracy. It was a great gift. I'm looking forward to digging into some of this candy. Some of it I'm not so much. So if you stayed with me to the end, I appreciate you. That's great. If you didn't stick with me, hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that as well. So give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite candy is, or even what your favorite candy was as a child growing up. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, and you will be notified when I put out some new content. Thanks, be safe, and let's take care of each other. Candy-coated peanut, it's hard, as it says on the box. But these were really good. I still enjoy these. I haven't had them in a while, but, oh. We'll wait till the bird's done singing. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here we go. The Atkinsons. Okay.